controls you, courage or fear?
I believe I don't want to get this.
Choices, chances, and consequences. The decisions that you make or don't make, they're going to affect your
future. What controls you, courage or fear?
I believe I don't want to get this.
choices, chances, and consequences. The decisions that you make or don't make, they're going to affect your
future. What controls you, courage or fear?
I believe I don't want to get this.
choices, chances, and consequences. The decisions that you make or don't make, they're going to affect your
future. What controls you, courage or fear?
I believe I don't want to get this.
choices, chances, and consequences. The decisions that you make or don't make, they're going to affect your
future. What controls you, courage or fear?
I believe I don't want to get this.
Choices, chances, and consequences. The decisions that you make or don't make, they're going to affect your future.
What controls you? Courage or fear?
I'm K.S. Lewis. You're used to me as an author, and I hope you've had an opportunity to read my books, The Game According to Life and Love Notes for Life. However, I'd like to invite you on a new journey to watch my show, Love Dish. So, Love Dish is the infusion of two things that I'm most passionate about, relationships and food. I'm talking to people around the DMV and beyond about lots of topics surrounding love and relationships, but we're also cooking a signature dish or creating a signature cocktail. Now, why are we taking that premise for this show? I'll tell you. Many of the significant things that happen in our lives happen around food, whether they are milestone birthdays, weddings, engagements, first dates, crucial conversations, doesn't matter. A lot of those things happen around food because it makes us comfortable and it puts our mind at ease. So why not talk about love and relationships while we're doing the same thing? So join me on YouTube. Again, Love Dish. People that you love, food that you love. I'll see you soon. Hi everyone, I'm K.S. Lewis and welcome to the first ever live edition of Love Dish. Each and every time I meet with you, my goal is to infuse the richness of love and relationships with the goodness of great food. So it's live, y'all. So y'all gotta y'all gotta cut me some slack tonight because I might slip up and say something wrong here and there. But I'm telling you, I'm so excited to be with you tonight on Unskrpted TV. I hope that you enjoy the menu. You can kind of see what we got laid out here. And I think I told you in the promo, we are doing crab mac and cheese with Chef Thomas Squire. So let me tell you a little bit about him, and then I'm gonna bring him into the kitchen and we'll get started. He was born and raised in Silver Spring, Maryland, and from an early age, he always knew that he had a love for cooking and serving people. He attended Coastal Carolina University, where he earned a bachelor's degree in communication with a minor in journalism, and he's currently pursuing a master's degree in special education from Howard University. Thomas has been cooking since an early age, and after completing his undergraduate degree, he began cooking and experimenting with new recipes to the point that he decided to start a business, Thomas Time. He was frequently featured on ABC's Good Morning Washington, doing demos and recipe testing. And he currently caters for private events, brunches, meal prep, and special events like this year's Mid-Atlantic Jazz Festival. And let me tell you something. Now, y'all who have followed me for a long time know that mac and cheese is one of my absolute favorite dishes. So you know I can't wait to dig in. We've got all the ingredients set up here. So we'll come right back and you'll get a chance to meet Thomas and see him prepare his dish.
The essential message that I want to share with anyone is it doesn't matter how cute you are, how in shape you are, and how much of the opposite you are that you feel, because somebody's going to like what you got going on. But it doesn't matter what the circumstances are. Don't let nobody save you for later.
So I met this person in college through a mutual friend, actually.
So my most current relationship met on Tinder, actually.
We were like in a dorm. There was it's like one of those dorm parties, and That was my first time seeing him. I was like, he's cute.
So it's like I was just enamored with the fact that she was a teacher, and not only just a teacher, but she was like I said, she was patient with me.
We parted ways because we just ended up not seeing eye to eye on the future.
I definitely can say I wasn't secure in myself at that time in my life. So when things would come up, I would just, lie.
We were toxic. I mean, like abusive in all kinds of ways, whether it was verbally, physically. I was crazy, he was crazy.
If I were to tell my younger self anything, I would tell her to just really be direct about what you want and not apologize for it. I would tell her to love herself a little more.
Understanding what you like first, what you want to do first. And if you're confused, because, we're not going to all have it all together, don't mess with nobody right now. How you confused on you, and you're trying to give 100% of confused you to a relationship.
The things that I was going through, which was trying to overcome an abortion, and this relationship and how we end it is just not sitting right with me. But regardless if it's not sitting right with you, you love yourself enough to not continue to try to push that relationship in a direction that you want it to go because of your own insecurities and your own anxiety about why it didn't work.
Listen to what a person tells you about themselves, and to trust your gut when the red flags start to come.
I would tell my younger self, don't be desperate to be wanted, and love yourself.
If you don't, recognize the bond that you have with your significant other, then you'll constantly always go down the same path, of feeling like you're inadequate or not deserving of love or not deserving of that person, and you'll self-sabotage without even really knowing it.
And then guys feel so entitled nowadays. Like last time I checked, I thought women were the prize. Right. Show forth what you can bring to the table first, and we'll follow up.
With Love Dish, and just like I promised, I've got Chef Thomas Squire here. How are you, Chef?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing wonderfully. I'm really excited for you to be here with me tonight.
Well, come on.
Right. So first of all, it's my first time doing this show live.
Oh, wow.
And I'm elated that Unskrpted TV has brought me onto the network and that we're able to do this together tonight.
Awesome.
But I'm also excited because you're making one of my favorite things in life to eat. Okay?
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, so there's an expectation in the room.
Right.
Okay.
You see my shirt, right? My shirt.
Who made it?
Who made the mac and cheese? I'm asking for the entire black family on tonight.
Because we on tonight. Because we need to know.
No pressure. But I know you're gonna rock out because I've heard so many wonderful things about your crab mac and cheese.
Thank you.
And I can't wait to taste it.
Oh,
but
awesome.
I do want to ask you, how before we even get into that, and let me just say, this man is a man after my own heart because I have my favorite, which y'all know is North Carolina. I'm from North Carolina. I've got some North Carolina wine, so we can celebrate throughout the evening.
Okay.
So let's cheers.
Cheers.
That's always good. That's always good.
And I was like, ooh, muscadine? Okay,
You
cool.
know?
Yeah. But again, my Carolina roots, we grew up on that.
That's why I love you already, because if you don't have muscadine or scuppernong around your house in some form or fashion, it's a problem.
What are we doing?
But I do want to talk a little bit about, I want to find out, how did you know cooking was going to be a major part of your life? I know in your bio it talks about that you started early cooking and that it kind of just grew with you. But how did you know it was your thing?
I would definitely say growing up. So one of my great aunts who used to live in Baltimore, who's from North Carolina, Weldon, Halifax. You know, kind of.
Weldon. Weldon is what I was thinking.
Oh, okay,
we were
okay.
Talking, just full disclosure, we were talking earlier, trying to place some different things. It was Weldon. I kept saying Wendell, but it was Weldon.
Yeah. Who's originally from there. We would always go to her house for Thanksgiving, Christmas, Mother's Day, Easter, and she just, I think, really personified like the perfect host. And I mean, her mac and cheese to me is the best. I don't know if I will try a better cheese of mac, but she really instilled in me that this is something that I want to do, and I enjoyed it so much that I wanted to learn how to cook it. So that was different, because a lot of people, they love to eat, but they're never like, okay, well, how do I know how to cook that? So in 7th grade, I actually went back to North Carolina on my mom's side. So that's Henderson, Warrenton, Inez, that area. I was supposed to study with this Italian chef, learn how to make stews and pasta and everything. I just played basketball all summer, so the passion kind of dwindled. And even as I was getting ready to go to college, my mom had asked, well, do you still want to try culinary programs? And by that time, I just knew that I wanted to be a journalist and I wanted to be in media. So I was like, no, like, I want to go that route. Lo and behold, like in college, everybody's asking me to cook. They're like, "Ooh, can you cook spaghetti?" So I'm spaghettied out. There was this meme that was like, no one has eaten more spaghetti than a young black kid.
So true.
So we would make spaghetti all throughout college, and then when I graduated, working at WJLA, I realized that I'm always really passionate about the food and culinary segments that we're doing. So much so that I started walking, started just exercising, and I would just share, what it is that I ate for lunch. And everyone's always like, did you really make that? Because I hadn't really...
So what were some of the things that you were telling
publicly
them
expressed?
about?
I mean, so I think I was just trying different things. So while at WJLA, I started making my own homemade sorbet. So we would do like blood orange, pineapple basil. We did a salted caramel apple. I mean, just really different flavors. And I would bring it every single Wednesday. So we kind of coined the term Sorbet Wednesdays, where everyone would be like, okay, Thomas, it's Wednesday, what we got? So I would do like Bostic pear, ugly fruit, just kind of really maybe lesser known fruits to just like the common palate. And so it transitioned there to just wanting to cook. And so I would be like, cool, I picked up some corn from the store or some ground turkey, and I made a lasagna or risotto, where I would just make different things. And everyone would always be like, did you made this? Like, where'd you pick this up from? They texted my mom, asking her, like, were you in the kitchen with them? And she's like, I was at work. Like, I don't know when he made this. And then, of course, everyone's always like, well, where's my plate at? Like, everybody want to eat. And so the online traffic on kind of Facebook and Instagram just kind of encouraged me to be like, you know what, maybe this is something that I should pick back up again.
Awesome.
And I had a friend who, Angela Walker, the owner of Natural Hair Studio in White Oak. Marilyn kind of reached out and said, hey, we're doing this natural hair kind of expo show. How much would it be for you to cater the VIP room? And I was just like, I'm just kind of cooking for one, so I don't really know. But I had a family friend, Cheryl Townsend. Thank God for her. She's a caterer as well. So was really able to kind of ask them, like, just how much do I charge, like pricing wise, caterer's insurance, because you have to also insure yourself and protect yourself. So she kind of really gave me some of the mechanics of what it took to actually run the business and how much food to buy and all of that. And then slowly but surely, just people kind of, they would see a post and they would reach out and say, well, I got this event coming up, like, are you available to do this, to do that? Been very blessed to have just like friends who, saw that this was something that I wanted to do. And they've always come, beside me to support it.
I love it. And I love the camaraderie in it, talking about the people who mentored you and talked you through running the business, those who had word of mouth referrals, and grew your business. Like, that's so important when you're starting out. But it also speaks to you as far as being a person that delivers a good product, because you already know word of mouth can work one of two ways.
Right.
It's either gonna go for you or against you.
Right.
So the blessing is that you must know how to throw down.
I mean, we get by. We stomachs are full.
Okay.
In the Squire household.
And listen, we're all gonna find out just what he can do do in the kitchen. As soon as we take a quick break, when we come back, we're gonna be aproned up and we're gonna be ready to go. We'll be right back on Love Dish.
Hey.
And it would kill me if another school shooting happened.
Is this beat meant for the battery?
No, I've been a realtor for so long that, and I feel like something's missing.
Because that was scaring me. That's why I was like,
Was that good? Yeah, okay.
everything was great. Y'all did great.
Short person.
People said they love the natural chemistry. They feel like they watching their cousins.
That's what you want. And then are we taking the chairs out, right?
Yes. I'm running another commercial.
I'm Falashede Pine, the host of Unskrpted Conversations, a new, exciting, revolutionary experience for our people to have complex conversations about issues directly affecting our community. To connect, engage, and share with you, coming soon, exclusively on Unskrpted TV.
Love Dish is back, and we are cooking with Chef Thomas Squire.
Hey.
Listen, I see he already got the pie, y'all.
Listen.
You are ready to go.
Macaroni in a pot.
That's what's up. That's what's up. I'm so excited. I don't know if I want to take a sip of my wine.
Right. I'm going to. I'm going to.
Okay. So then we gotta do that.
Cheers again.
Cheers again, because we know it's gonna be an awesome dish. Ooh, that's so good.
Mm-hmm.
But you're going to talk us through how to make crab mac and cheese, right?
Okay.
And while you do that, I just want to have a conversation.
Okay.
I want to talk about how we as a culture and a community have really kind of embraced Thanksgiving. Because if you think about it, the way Thanksgiving started, so I'm half Native and half Black.
Oh, wow.
And so it really wasn't favorable for either of my
either
side.
side. Right.
You
Okay.
know?
Wow. Right?
But when you think about like through the years and how it kind of developed and evolved, from colonial times, it was what it was. We got to admit that.
Okay.
It was what it was.
Right.
And what I love about what our ancestors did is they took that time to plan escapes. Because there was time off. You know, everybody, all the colonizers, so they say, we're celebrating in the house and eating. And so that was their time to break away. But as it began to move from that place, you know, we know that pastors and churchgoers were, you know, kind of condemning that and trying to rally around the thought of making it a day for us. And I would say over the years, as we have continued to make it a day for us, we've really changed the game.
Yeah, we have.
I mean, think about how, you know, I had the shirt on that said, "Who made the mac and cheese?" That's almost a competition. When you go with your family. And then people want to, you know, they want to talk about their favorite dishes. Sometimes it's a time for family pictures. So tell me a little bit about some of your favorite traditions as we get started with the dish.
Okay.
Tell me a little bit about some of your favorite traditions.
So, I mean,
I'm going to set your glass right here.
Perfect. I think for me, so, you know, our step one, we're going to put some butter in the
I'm
bottom.
sous chefing on today, y'all.
We're going to put some butter in the bottom of our pan to make sure that it doesn't stick. And do you want to move that around?
Sure. Absolutely.
I think as far as traditions go for us, it would be one of the holidays where we would see cousins and aunties and uncles that we may not really see throughout the year. So it was really something where I look back on and I really do appreciate kind of all of the family and the coming together. I have a spread out family. So, you know, we did the house hop and, you know, we go to aunt such and such and uncle whatever.
That's the best part too, because you get to get your favorite dish from all of those houses.
All around.
Let me tell you something. So I was actually born on Thanksgiving Day.
Whoa.
Yes.
Wow. Okay. Yikes.
So it's my favorite holiday.
Oh, okay, perfect.
I mean,
you didn't feel like there was the competition to also independently do something?
No, because I love family so much that, you know, as long as somebody had a little piece of coconut pie for me with a candle in it, I was okay.
You was good. Okay, good.
And every 4 years, I always tell my family, I'm the gift that keeps on giving. I was born on Thanksgiving, and every 4 years you get to celebrate my birthday again. So,
hey,
you know,
listen, that's what we do.
I don't know. I'm just stirring here. You tell me when it's time to put some noodles in there.
So our first, after after we kind of grease the bottom of the pan, I kind of layer mine like a lasagna.
Okay.
So I do my cheeses first, and then I do the noodles, and then I season it because you must really season at every level.
Yes.
And there's some colonizers who probably don't understand
That's
that
so true. That's so true. We're gonna teach them today.
Today. But it's really, I think, for me, when I started making this dish, and then we can put a layer of noodles.
Okay.
When I started making this dish, one of the comments would be like, it's seasoned so well. Like how are you, getting all of these flavors to really marry and combine?
Yeah.
And it's because I do it on literally every single level. Every bite has your garlic, your onion, like it has everything
Tell me
in
when to
it.
stop.
That is perfect.
Okay, awesome.
And then I know we set measurements, but I'm more of until the ancestors tell me.
And they will tell you.
And they will. So I normally just kind of do a light layer of the.
You hear them whispering.
Okay. Come on, Harry.
Yes.
She's here. She's in the room.
I believe it. I believe all of the spirits and the energy of our ancestors.
Yeah.
Because let me tell you about this. So one thing about macaroni and cheese, and I was really excited to see that it's kind of rumored that James Heming, Sally Heming's brother, is the person who actually introduced it in the way that we eat it to America.
Wow.
So I do believe that on some level, the ancestors are kind of whispering.
Yeah, they're saying
put a little more salt
a little bit of like, listen.
Put a little more garlic powder in there.
Wow.
Don't forget some butter. Don't forget,
Wow.
Isn't that wonderful?
That's so just like profound.
Yeah.
Like, wow. Okay. Wow. That kind of
You know this?
No, that's a brand new fact for the day.
So it's highly rumored. I can't say with full authority that it's the absolute truth, but I do know that while he was enslaved as a chef for Thomas Jefferson, that he was taken over to France, that he learned so many different things. It might be the oven. There we go. It's live, y'all.
Live. We live, baby.
Now you know we really cooking it, okay? But yeah, so Thomas Jefferson took him over to France. He learned all these different things like how to make meringue.
Wow.
My memory is escaping me of some of the other things. But he brought those techniques back here.
Wow.
And from what I understand, introduced it. Now, I will say that Thomas Jefferson's sister kind of stole the recipe and put it in her cookbook a few years after that.
Right.
But we know the deal. We know what really happened. And we know that there's no way something this good didn't come from us.
Thank you. Say it.
We know that.
Just say
we
that.
know that, right?
And I mean, so I was reading kind of last year one of the quotes.
I'm sorry. Let me get on my job.
Noodle us, queen. There was one of these quotes where it talked about how I mean, pretty much back then, because our ancestors were enslaved, they were the cooks, they were the chefs. So it was us and our ancestors who were really, and it's crazy to think, you think about the James Beard Award and how the Michelin star and all of these things and how underrepresented I think we are in that process, and yet again we are the ones that really laid the foundation for that, which is crazy, but is not new if you are familiar with American history.
So true. And I know people are probably wondering, what am I doing? I know the crew is like, why is she moving everything? But I just want people to be able to see the layers as we're going through them, because they look amazing. And although I can't set it up high enough for everyone to really, really see, I just want you to be able to kind of see how we're building. Yeah. So that's why I'm moving everything, y'all.
Because you got to build it, you got to layer the flavor. And then again, we're going to go back in.
So I want to ask you.
Yes, ma'am.
I want to ask you, what's some of your favorite family memories from Thanksgiving Day?
So now this is my cousins, Cicely and Simone. We were all kind of around the same age, and this was like Tyler Perry, like the bootleg DVD, back in the day, and we would watch like Medea's family reunion and kind of all of those. What's the not Why Did I Get Married? What's Diary of a Mad Black Woman? When that first came out, I mean, the whole I mean, and would like memorize it. This was like early 2000s, 2000s.
So you guys are watching the plays.
Yeah, we were watching the plays.
Okay.
Yeah. So, which was just like a really great time. I mean, I'm born and raised in the church. My grandmother had a church, and my dad was a minister as well.
My dad's a pastor too.
Okay, well, listen.
Unite.
Okay. And
I like you.
from day one, from moment number one.
Moment one.
We do need more cheese.
Okay.
Just for our top layer, just as a shout out.
Let's do this. Let's take a quick break, grab some more cheese. Since we don't have it readily here on the table to grab, and then we'll finish it up.
We'll finish it.
This is Love Dish. We're gonna grab some cheese, and we'll be right back.
Hey.
Life's been good since I took over my dad's clinic.
Brian don't work here no more?
Now, what the hell is going down there at that damn clinic anyway?
My friends are supportive.
Still stinky Rhonda.
My patients love me.
I thought I felt the draft.
I think it is time for us to get some out here. I'm out.
And my sex life
What kind of sex y'all having?
has never been better. Yeah. Life is just
I got this.
awesome.
Choices, chances, and consequences. The decisions that you make or don't make, they're gonna affect your
What controls you? Courage or fear?
All right, we're back. I'm K.S. Lewis with Love Dish with my special guest,
Thomas.
Yes, and we are making crab mac and cheese. You saw us already putting the layers together. Let me just show you guys this.
Okay, come on, show it off.
Look at this. Oh my God. I mean, literally, I could eat it like this, but I'm not going to. I'm going to wait. Look at that.
Zoom in. Come on.
Yes.
Lovely.
And I love the way you layer it like lasagna because that promises me that everybody is going to have all of the cheesy goodness
It's supposed to have. I mean, because there's nothing worse than a dry mac and cheese or not enough cheese mac and cheese.
Or just something missing.
It's something missing.
And you know when you taste. So we were talking about our favorite Thanksgiving traditions and memories before the break. But we all know there's somebody in the family that when you hear that they made whatever dish they made, it's like, ooh.
I know what I'm not eating this year.
Right. And you're begging them to either put it like you're begging the cousins that you're in cohorts with. Can you just slide that
over? We good. And I feel like with that cousin, it's like bring the can to the dry. It's okay.
Listen,
it's all right.
And the ones that I'm in cahoots with, we don't even have the same thing. We just give each other a look, and it's like you already know. Okay?
Well, so I was so thankful the last job that I had, the majority of my coworkers were Black.
Yes.
And so the best thing about Thanksgiving, we would do this potluck, but because it's all us, now one, it would be catered, so the majority of the food would be there, and then they would go around and specifically ask, like, the people who can cook, if that rum cake is your thing.
And you know I make a mean rum cake.
Well, listen, episode 2, where we at? Because the rum cake is the seal the deal. But I like that they would go around, because sometimes you go to like holiday potlucks or whatever, and it's just like, now we know she can't cook, so why are we allowing them to bring the meal when they need to be on soda?
But you know, sometimes people. And it goes back to what we were beginning to talk about with the camaraderie, with the feeling of togetherness that the holiday just invokes in us. I think sometimes even when you can't necessarily cook, you want to do something. And to say to the people who can't really cook, bring the napkins, baby. Bring, you know. But we gotta figure out a way.
We got to. Right. They're involved,
right?
but we know that. Listen, that's just not their ministry, and it's all right.
It's okay.
All parties of the body make it work.
I'm gonna tell you this is how I tell people. I gotta wipe my mouth after I eat. Please bring the napkins.
Got to.
You know, we need all of it.
Right.
And so we're talking about, you know, some of the favorite things that people bring. What is your favorite dish?
Ooh, my favorite dish, honestly, because sometimes I get kind of over Thanksgiving food, so we'll do like braised short ribs or lamb, which is just always appropriate for the holidays.
Yes.
If someone can make a really good stuffing, so my great aunt would make a slamming, like in the turkey stuffing that would like blow you away.
Yes.
So I'm good with that. Collard greens,
Yes.
you know, like if you can make some good green beans,
Yes.
some good Brussels sprouts. Clearly, I love the whole menu. You know, I'm here for the entire
Don't miss any of it. I want it all on my plate.
assembly of it all.
And I truly think we were connected at birth because the first thing you said, the stuffing, that's my favorite thing.
What?
That is my absolute favorite Thanksgiving dish. If I go home and my mom hasn't started on it, I'm making it. And it has to be a really big, like, she has to bring a catered size.
Yes.
It's really just us.
Yeah.
So
we're going to eat it for days.
You know?
So right now we're pouring in our heavy cream in our whole milk. So that will be, you know, kind of our binding agent.
Yes.
Some people do kind of the egg and it's, you know, more casserole. And I say if that's how you continue to like it, cool. But for this one, it still kind of combines really well with just really the milk and heavy cream.
I love it. I'll take that for you.
Thank you. And so for me, I always check. So if my milk line, if it's kind of like right there, then I know I've had enough. You should always put still a baking dish underneath it, you know, for it to bubble over and do what it's going to do. But that's always an indicator that like, oh, it's going to be moist because there's nothing worse than a dry mac and cheese where it's just like,
you don't want to dry anything when you
right. Literally. So then we'll cover this with our aluminum foil.
Okay. So before you cover it, let's just go back through. Let's just go back through the ingredients and the technique.
Yes.
So of course, macaroni noodles, the crab meat, the cheese, and I like to think that people can use whatever cheese is their preference.
Yes. I totally agree.
Exactly what cheese you use,
so today we used a white cheddar, an extra sharp cheddar, and then a reserve cheddar.
Awesome.
But if you wanted to use like a Wisconsin cheddar or Kerrygold really does make really good cheeses. So they also have a reserve cheddar.
You guys should really sponsor.
I know, like, come on. I will talk you all up to the heavens.
They make good butter too.
Really good butter. Yes. But really any of their cheeses. But if you're a Munster, if you're a peppercorn, you know, I think you can add it. You just all want it to kind of complement each other. You don't want a cheese to be punching higher. I think mozzarella a lot of times just makes it gooier. So if that's kind of the consistency that you're looking for, that's a good one to add. I think Asiago gives it a really good bite, or Parmesan gives it a really good bite. So getting some fresh fat and grating it yourself, you know, or what have you, given your time constraints. But those are kind of the different cheeses that are in the wheelhouse. And then as far as seasonings, garlic powder, onion powder, salt, and pepper. And then obey just to top and then obey just to top the crab meat, just to kind of elevate it, because obey's got celery salt, it's paprika, it's got so many other different spices that I think will just all marry really well.
So let me just say this for those of you that are tuned in. Now he gave you the quick rundown and we kind of demonstrated, but listen, you can always just call him and get him to make it for you if you feel a little uneasy.
Listen, I'm here. If you're in the DMV.
Yes, if you are in the DC, Maryland, and Virginia area, because I know we have viewers from all over. And sometimes, you know, they try to front like everybody knows what the DMV is. They know. But, so it sounds easy. It sounds really easy. Cook your noodles and salt the water. You gotta salt the water.
Got to, because we season at every level.
We season at every
Come
level.
on.
It starts with salting the pasta water. And then really just layer it the way you want. Layer, you know, your butter, then your noodles, and then go through your cheese, and then on top you have the crab meat, right? And
100%.
And again, put the Old Bay on because you don't want to be embarrassed at the end.
And they're like, oh, it's missing Old Bay, and really with all seafood, Old Bay just does something.
It brings out the flavor,
and especially for us, like being from this area too. I can see, maybe if you're not from this area, but Old Bay is such a staple that I think it also kind of brings in a different sense of nostalgia. Crabs, like I didn't even really get crabs this season because COVID and everything, but that is always like, okay, cool, I kind of got my crab fix, like with the Old Bay. So.
And so you might kick me out the family once I say this, but because I'm from North Carolina, that was such a new thing for me when I moved to the area. But I am not I like crab legs.
Oh, but not
the whole crab.
Ooh,
I'm sorry, y'all.
I know.
Don't write me.
But like the king crab legs will do.
No, I do love
because those are
like king crab legs.
The meat is like always there. Just being from here, they would like teach you how to crack it and pull it out. The mustard, my mom is like, she'll have the vinegar and the butter. Like she'll do the kind of the whole spread of that.
I have aunts that live here and cousins that live here. They love it.
Yeah.
But to me, it was just too much work for a little bit of meat.
Well, and that's what a lot of people say, right? Just give me the legs. I know what I'm getting myself into. We know what it is. And so I went to school in South Carolina, and everyone would always be like, "Ooh, this seafood is so good, so good, so good." And I'm just like, I'm from Maryland now. Like we do seafood pretty big. Like Charleston was like solid. Like I could probably go back to Charleston and get great seafood. But like coastal Carolina was in Myrtle Beach, and the seafood was just really kind of like I felt like.
But Myrtle Beach is so touristy now.
Right.
I feel like maybe at some point there were
like Pawleys Island, Georgetown, kind of those smaller Conway, those small towns where the kind of the locals, are still there and those traditions are there.
So we all know, if you're from this area, this is the dish for you because it's got crab, and who doesn't know that crab is part of Maryland's history? Okay? So we're gonna give you one more quick look at it just so that you can see how that looks. I'm spilling the milk, but don't fire me. Don't fire me.
You're not fired. You're not fired. You're good. You're good.
Good. All right. But we're gonna come right back. We're gonna put this in the oven actually and let it stay for how long?
40 minutes covered and then 15 minutes uncovered.
40 minutes covered, 15 uncovered. So if you were able to jot down notes about how he put it together, 40 minutes in a 400-degree oven.
400 degree.
And then take the tin foil off. I'm from the country, so I say tin foil.
Okay, well,
take the
listen.
tin foil off.
A double wide is means you made it. So.
That was never the double wide. But take the aluminum foil off and then put it back in there for 15 more minutes. So we're gonna take a quick break and put it in the oven, and we'll be right back on Love Dish.
Hey.
Hi everyone, I'm K.S. Lewis. You're used to me as an author, and I hope you've had an opportunity to read my books, The Game According to Life and Love Notes for Life. However, I'd like to invite you on a new journey to watch my show, Love Dish. So, Love Dish is the infusion of two things that I'm most passionate about, relationships and food. I'm talking to people around the DMV and beyond about lots of topics surrounding love and relationships, but we're also cooking a signature dish or creating a signature cocktail. Now, why are we taking that premise for this show? I'll tell you. Many of the significant things that happen in our lives happen around food, whether they are milestone birthdays, weddings, engagements, first dates, crucial conversations, doesn't matter. A lot of those things happen around food because it makes us comfortable and it puts our mind at ease. So why not talk about love and relationships while we're doing the same thing? So join me on YouTube. Again, Love Dish. People that you love, food that you love. I'll see you soon.
Choices, chances, and consequences. The decisions that you make or don't make, they're going to affect your
What What controls you, courage or fear?
I believe I know what I can get this.
Hi everyone, I'm K.S. Lewis. You're used to me as an author, and I hope you've had an opportunity to read my books, The Game According to Life and Love Notes for Life. However, I'd like to invite you on a new journey to watch my show, Love Dish. So, Love Dish is the infusion of two things that I'm most passionate about, relationships and food. I'm talking to people around the DMV and beyond about lots of topics surrounding love and relationships, but we're also cooking a signature dish or creating a signature cocktail. Now, why are we taking that premise for this show? I'll tell you. Many of the significant things that happen in our lives happen around food, whether they are milestone birthdays, weddings, engagements, first dates, crucial conversations, doesn't matter. A lot of those things happen around food because it makes us comfortable and it puts our mind at ease. So why not talk about love and relationships while we're doing the same thing? So join me on YouTube. Again, Love Dish. People that you love, food that you love. I'll see you soon.
And it would kill me if another school shooting happened.
Now, I've been a realtor for so long, and I feel like something's missing.
Welcome back to Love Dish. I'm K.S. Lewis with my special guest.
Hey, Thomas. Thomas
Chef
Tucker.
Thomas.
Yep.
Right, and as you can see, so of course the magic of TV. We just put it in the oven and boom, it's out.
What?
But look at it. Oh my goodness, it's bubbling. It's doing everything it's supposed to do.
Listen, I'm a crispy edges.
Ooh, me too.
I mean, again, we right here.
Yes.
We're like first cousins.
We are.
We met at the fume, but like we still right here. We met at Big Mama's fume. That's all right.
It's all you. But I'm telling, my mouth is watering. Like I really cannot wait. But of course, I got a couple more questions.
Okay.
All right. So a couple more things. We talked about a lot of stuff tonight, and I'm so excited. Our conversation was so good.
Oh, awesome.
If you could have anyone around your Thanksgiving Day table, who would it be and why?
I mean, I've got such a good community of people who love and support me and that I love and support. So really just that tribe, my Thomas Time tribe, definitely family. I've got 3 sisters.
Awesome.
So if they could be there, I've got a host of nieces and nephews. So if they could be there, my mom and dad, of course. I would definitely say, I mean, my mom has been just such a driving force in my life as well. So she's always somebody that if it lines up, my parents divorced in 2015. So like that's always now kind of different, like with the holidays. But truthfully, if I could have anybody there, so my great aunt Sarah, she actually passed away in 2015. So if anybody could like be at Thanksgiving again, it would definitely be her. And her daughter May. Like they are my biggest, like the turkey wings, slamming, the stuffing, slamming, again the greens. She's the only chitlins that I will eat.
And it's always one person that you will
that
eat
you
and
trust.
nobody else.
But like those are definitely the people, kind of your family that's passed on that you wish you could still hug one more time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, like we said, the ancestors are with us, so I believe that she's still with you every year.
Every year.
Watching you enjoy those dishes that you love so much.
Literally at every event, I definitely feel her just like saying like, oh, you know what, Thomas, like I'm so proud. Like keep going. I've had stressful events where everything is like going wrong, or it seems like nothing can really equal up to what it needs to be, and I feel her being like, cool, keep pushing on, keep doing it, keep going. Yeah, like she's like such an amazing spirit that will be with me, you know, forever.
Yeah, that's so beautiful.
Yeah,
that's beautiful. I love that. I have some dear cousins and family members and great grands that I would love to have around the table with me, just to kind of soak in their knowledge and their love and their presence one more time. For sure. So do you feel like as a community we've embraced Thanksgiving the way we should at this point? Or do you think we have
some ways to go?
Some ways to go.
Yeah, I mean, I think in totality, anytime that we're able to come together and it be Black joy that is not at the expense of anything else or some sort of pain, those moments are magical and they're powerful. And I think the older I got, I didn't realize how recharging they were and just how edifying they were to just like, cool, we had kind of this weekend where we were loving on us, like it was all good vibes. You may have, you know, the shady auntie, you know, the whatever, the family drama. Right. Okay, well, we or dominoes, you know, because we gonna do that. But you know, those are the things that I look back on, and I really say, you know, those moments were really precious. So I think in essence we have. I would say, if anything, just the sharing of family history and knowledge is something that I don't want to ever die or to stop. And, you know, obviously in a pandemic, sometimes you're not really able to connect with those older kind of relatives, which you would normally do around like Thanksgiving or Christmas. More Thanksgiving than Christmas, you know, kind of depending on your family dynamic. But for me, that's the thing that I never want to stop. Like I went out to eat with my dad yesterday, and he told me how, like, what was the driving force of him moving to North Carolina? I had never heard that story before. You know, my dad will be 70 in January. So, you know, some of those things that you just never really realize, you know, like what made you move from the South? You know, like some people still think Maryland is the South and the Mason-Dixon line, we get it.
Right.
But like what made him move to DC, kind of what was the driving force behind that. And so those things, you can't really put a price tag on, you can't really quantify or monetize, and those are the things that will be with you.
Yeah, those are the things that we love. Those are the things that we carry with us, like you said, and those are the things that we pass down.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's wonderful when we have those moments and those opportunities where we can get clarification on things that may have been, you know, in our minds the whole time, like, why would you ever move from blah blah blah? But when you have that moment, that time to talk, and I believe that is part of what continues to allow us to embrace Thanksgiving the way we do. Because, you know, from days of old until the present, we've been known for telling our narrative, for speaking our narrative. And, you know, we're continuing, as Unskrpted model, we're continuing to redefine it, even through the way that we enjoy Thanksgiving with our families. But we're going to jump into this dish.
Come on.
We got, this is the
Come on.
finale.
Yeah, I mean, we're here.
We got to taste. So I'm going to let you scoop us a little bit. Oh my goodness.
I don't know if y'all hear that.
I don't know if y'all hear it, and I don't even know if y'all can see the, whoa. That's like, whoa.
Like, whoa.
Yes. I know I probably should have did your plate first.
No, listen. Ladies first.
Hey.
Chivalry is not dead.
I will not fight you on that.
Ooh.
Look at that. Oh my goodness. Do you see? I know everyone watching can see how that just oozed out.
They're like, now, where's my plate at?
Oh my goodness. So before you answer, though, I have one last question.
Yes, I'm listening.
And this is a question I ask everyone on every episode. What is your greatest hope for love?
Ooh. That I would find someone who is understanding. I've got many layers. I do a bunch of different things. And to find someone who not only understands that, but values that and appreciates that. That's probably the biggest thing. And you know, communication, you know, there's so many other different things, but just being seen and
Yes.
being heard and being valued is really important.
That's so beautiful.
Yeah.
Thomas, thank you so much for joining me tonight.
Well, thank you for having me.
We are Kim.
I know, like it's us until the end. We driving off into the sunset.
And let's take this. I want everyone that's watching to enjoy their Thanksgiving holiday. I know it's going to look a little different this year with the pandemic, but find a way to connect. Find a way to continue to tell your stories to one another. Find a way to enjoy each other. And I'm K.S. Lewis signing off. We're going to taste it, but I got to say, thank you for tuning in to my first live edition. Thank you for being with us.
Oh, yeah,
and
no, this
sharing
was
about
awesome. Thank you for the opportunity for the Reach Out Falasha Day, for organizing, Unskrpted, for putting everything together. This was beyond, what I could have ever imagined. So.
All right, so let's take one more bite.
Okay.
Or one bite, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my God.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Listen, as we leave, because I'm about to tear this up, y'all. Okay, I'm about to get real ignorant with this plate. Let me just say, now I saw the videos and how people responded, but my goodness.
Love.
I didn't know. Bye, y'all. Have a wonderful evening. This is K.S. Lewis signing off for Good night.
Holla.
Choices, chances, and consequences. The decisions that you make or don't make, they're going to affect your
What controls you? Courage or fear?
I believe I know what I can get this.